Do you guys have a pint of Bead Maker instead? Just a little smaller bottle. You're good though. You moved it over good.
Okay.
It's early here.
Yeah, it is early.
It is early.
Yeah, I'm used to it being at 7:30 my time. So, but we had to leave the hotel at 5:15.
Yeah.
It was early.
We had to make sure we went to Starbucks, and then we drove across the bay, and
And we had to figure out setting everything up here. But
put this on.
hopefully it works out okay.
Yep.
So what, are you leaving right after this?
I'm not gonna leave till like noon.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going straight to the hotel, huh?
Yeah. I got a bunch of work I gotta do here first. So I didn't.
That's really good.
I was working on stuff till like 11 o'clock last night too.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's just I'm not gonna have a lot of time to sit in front of a computer for the next few days.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it hard. Do you know it? Oh, I guess we're online.
Yeah. That's why I went, because I was about to say something too.
Sorry, like, okay.
There we go.
My nails do not censor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're really, and they're really
Have to check it out. I was kind of not like into the like trenches or those things.
yeah, and then
Yeah. I really just like wasn't into it. Now I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit more open to that. Especially because you made that brand or like that name.
Yeah.
Look good. Or it was kind of silly. I'm your detailer. Now I'm like, alright. It looks good.
So who let you guys in the building this morning?
So we got a key.
We got the key and the code.
We got the key in the code.
Gotcha.
Actually, Bob remotely, took the code off or undid the alarm from his phone. But hey, so it's pretty far away for us. Can you read that? Okay, I can't see that at all. It's just a light in my eyes. So any questions that we go after, you're going to have to pull them up because I won't be able to see them.
Yeah, if I'm reading it wrong, please try and help me because we are staring at the light.
All right.
And
I'll try to do what I can.
we tried to take our phones off of, data because I didn't want to suck any more data out of here.
I think the signal's okay. You're coming through great. I mean, like, we don't have any
No.
issues on our side, so.
Yeah, we can hear you. The clock's chiming down right. That one day when it just jumped from like 30 to 1. I was like, oh, we're on.
That's all. That's always fun. Well, thought I had something to tell you guys, and I can't remember what it was anymore.
So I can kind of read the questions. I just can't read the names.
All right, I'll try and help you out.
All right.
This is cool.
How fun.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope there are a few people on already. Welcome to Bead Maker and Coffee, the first Bead Maker and Coffee here
Yeah.
in Hayward,
Yeah.
where PNS is headquartered in Northern California.
Yes, we are live from the training center, actually.
Yeah.
So we first we'll just start off by saying we don't have Wi-Fi out here, so we hope you guys can hear us okay and that our video stays steady. So bear with us if it doesn't, because we are out here in the training center, which is in the warehouse. But we wanted to give you guys a look inside the training center. It's pretty sweet. We hadn't seen it since they moved, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm really impressed. Keith and Bob and Dave. Keith has put a lot of work into this, and this is where you would come if you were taking a training class from Prentice, our director of training. Maybe even Sydney and I will do trainings here in the future and learn PNS products, ceramic coatings, and maybe some IDA certifications as well. So we're really excited to be in this facility. It's really coming along. There's a few more things planned. I think we're going to put some lights up in here soon, some really cool looking hexagon lights. But this is it. And over here, and we'll show you guys a little bit later, we may take a little bit of a tour and show you our bottling station where PNS bottles all their pints. Over on this side, there is a rack full of labels. It's pretty impressive to see how they do this.
Yeah. And why are we here?
So why is Sydney and Kyle together? Well, and Kyle drove up yesterday and Sydney came in on Saturday because we are here in Northern California preparing for Monterey Car Week. Today is our travel day. So detailers that have been selected by PNS that are members of the Detail Mafia and Detailers Network are coming in today from all over. Some already here, some from other states. And today we're going to prepare to go down and work at the McCall Motorworks Revival.
At the Monterey Jet Center.
At the Monterey Jet Center. And we are going to have a great time taking care of and making cars shine using PNS products. I think we have a new product that we're going to be talking about later this week. So you got to stay tuned for that. So tell us what happens on travel day, Sydney.
So you'll notice today that we're wearing non-PNS shirts. So Team PNS kind of has a tradition and we call it Code of the Road. So, when we travel, we like to honor other industry partners. So it could be a company, it could be a detailer's shirt. And so we go Code of the Road, which means we don't wear our own shirts. We wear somebody else's shirt. So today I'm wearing, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's the Detailer line. So I'm sure you've all seen this out there, but I wanted to give Anthony Brown Jr. a shout out. He's in Dallas, Texas, Carter's Car Care, and he has a line of clothing that's called the Detailer. And there's a couple different versions, but I just got some new shirts recently. He came out with some new designs and really, really good quality shirts. I love them. They're awesome. And Anthony's an awesome guy and a great partner for PNS. And so I wanted to give him a shout out. And you are wearing
Detailed Image. They're a great partner of PNS as well. Just awesome. They take, they're one of our online distributors and really, I think the lights are going out. That's weird. We may have to turn the other lights on.
I still see it fine.
Yeah, we got the ring light on. We're good there. So yeah, Code of the Road. It's kind of from this. It was before my time and yours. It comes from Bob, Dave, and Keith and Rennie when they would travel when Double Black was first starting. And I think they got tired of wearing black all the time because that's kind of how PNS rolls. It's all black. So they decided to make those rules that when you're traveling, you have to wear a different company shirt or brand shirt. So, I mean, I wear a 3X, sometimes 4, depending on it. And Sydney's like a medium. So, I mean, if you want to go Code of the Road with us, we'll be doing it a lot. I mean, now that we're coming out of this whole thing, more and more. So if you're Bob and Rennie and Keith, we're all going to be doing it. I hope maybe we can get Chris on that, huh, Chris? Or are you just going to wear those awesome shirts? What shirt are you wearing today?
Chris, you got to show yourself.
I have myself hidden, but I'll show you guys. Here we go. Today is Live Fast, Die Cast. So they're Hot Wheels cars on an orange Hot Wheels track.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, you know,
It's
I have
all-
a couple thousand Hot Wheels, so it's fitting.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Man, I love it. That's cool.
Yep.
You must have your own closet in your house, right?
I
Of just
well,
shirts hanging.
it's behind me. You can see it in the picture there. There it is.
It's all t-shirts.
It's all t-shirts, but I'll see if I could find something else to wear when I head up to Monterey this afternoon.
Yep, we're excited to have you come up too. You know, Chris is a part of the team.
Yep.
And I mean, do you have 365 shirts yet?
No,
Okay.
no.
I think
And
that's a goal.
I got rid of some recently, mostly because I couldn't fit in them anymore.
You got the COVID-20 as well, huh?
Yes, might have been 25. I can't remember.
Mine was like 40, but it is what it is.
Yep. So there you go.
Let's go into what we need to do next. Is tell us about a detail you did this past week.
Yeah, so this past week, I tried to keep my schedule kind of light and easy since I was preparing to come to California for several days. So last Monday, Tuesday, I got to work on a special project that was so fun. So if you guys remember, we had Cruise in Hidden Springs at the beginning of June, and the whole team came to support my car show there. And PNS was one of the award sponsors. And so their award was the Double Black Lifestyle. So what that meant is they chose the car that seemed to kind of, you know, felt like a double black lifestyle. So just fun and, you know, good times, maybe out in the wilderness and things like that. So they chose it was a 1974 Bronco. And the couple was so awesome. And they loved this Bronco, but they had just restored it and the paint wasn't finished. So from the painter, it never got finished. So I got to take in that Bronco for 2 days and I did a lot of sanding, a whole lot of compounding, just a ton of finish work. The paint felt like 600 grit sandpaper. It was crazy and it just didn't shine. And so I spent about 14 hours on paint correction. I went through about 55 pads because they would just fill up right away. And so I just was constantly washing them. And it turned out amazing. And it was so fun. And then I got to top it all off with Legend. So
Nice.
It came out absolutely amazing.
Cool, Chris.
So Chris has some pictures here. This is obviously the 4. You guys can see how it's absolutely dull, so scratched. It was absolutely crazy. And I'm not sure what the story is, why it didn't get finished, but it needed a lot of help. And so it completely changed the color. The color it was like somebody turned on an HD filter, which we've said that about Legend a lot. And it just turned out absolutely amazing. Chris, do you happen to have the after pictures or no?
I'm working on it. Let's see.
Okay.
I was trying to show you this other one.
Oh, yeah. That's the passenger door. The whole top of it just looked like it was just a huge cloud. There was gray clouds everywhere in the paint. It was nuts.
Let's see.
So yeah, they loved it, and they ended up taking it to a car show that very night. And then I believe they're making a trip with it here pretty soon. So this was an after shot of the tailgate. But these old Ford Broncos, they are just, I mean, it literally does just remind me of the term double black lifestyle. I mean, it's so, how could you not smile, you know, and have fun?
They look like, you know, go to the beach, go to the mountains, just have a fun time, sporty.
Yep.
But also, I mean, the old Bronco, the new Bronco looks all right when you do it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
And all this is on your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So I wash.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So on Sydney's Instagram, you can go there, follow her as well.
Yep.
And you can see all the projects she posts.
Yep.
She posts a lot more than I do on at least our business Instagrams.
Yeah. And there's a great TikTok with it too.
Oh yeah,
I made myself
that was a
laugh
good
with
one.
the TikTok. So
I can play. I think I can play that for you too.
okay.
Oh, nice. That'd be awesome.
So that's the after. That was super fun. It
There
turned
you go.
out so good. It turned out so good.
Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Watch. It'd be good.
They said we couldn't do it, but looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have taken the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on.
That made me laugh. So yeah, it was
There you
definitely
go.
one of those projects that you in the middle of it, you're like, this was opening Pandora's box, but always comes together at the end, and it turned out absolutely amazing, and it was worth all the, blood, sweat, and tears, and it was so fun.
And now you're going to be doing their other cars too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I did last week. So
I was going to mention like all the things I did last week between RVs and a lot of EnviroClean, airplanes and a lot of EnviroClean. But when I got here to PNS yesterday and we were getting ready for Monterey Car Week, I walk in and Sydney is sitting here polishing on the Mercedes Sprinter van that's sitting over here to my left. And the hood looked good, really, really good. Now these are rentals. They're beat to hell.
Oh,
and the hood looked terrible. Then I looked up above the windshield and I saw the roof of this thing and I'm like, this looks like crap. Yeah. So I took a Rupes and a blueberry pad from Buff and Shine and Ultra Coat polish. And I spent about 20 minutes on each side, maybe 15, just polishing the heck out of the front cap on the Sprinter van. And Ultra Coat polish did its work.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks night and day difference. Maybe I'll post a picture up later.
Yeah.
It wasn't any paint correction. It literally was removing oxidation and just shining up this black paint. So I'm going to say Ultra Coat polish, really did a great job.
Yeah.
And that was more to me than all the EnviroClean I used last week. I mean, I'm actually going to be bringing 5 gallons of EnviroClean home with me because I've been using so much of it lately.
Yeah.
So Ultra Coat polish, it's awesome. It if we have our way, if we push hard enough, it may get a new look one day too.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening, Bob.
He is.
He's gonna say, "Ding you kids." All right, so there's some questions. Chris, you want to pull up
I have a question first.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 gallons of EnviroClean. How many ready-to-use gallons does that make?
Holy cow.
Oh, wow. Well,
So,
I guess it would depend on your dilution.
yeah, because I'm going to usually dilute it 10 to 1. So what's that, like 50 gallons?
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
EnviroClean.
it's a lot of
Those planes are
EnviroClean.
big, though.
But I've been using literally, I use my IK sprayer and I put about, it's 32 ounces. I'm putting a little over about 3.5 ounces in, filling it up, and I'm using that on planes. And I refill that thing 4 or 5 times. Just my pumper. My guys have the same. So every plane we're going through. Now, let me also say some of it's already pre-diluted.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm using my Chemtrol to dilute for my guys so it's ready to use. So they go through the whole gallon. I'm using the concentrate because where I'm working on is actually really dirty, a lot dirtier. And so I'm kind of boosting it and bringing it. Yeah, it's a lot stronger. So I'm just bringing home 5 gallons just to get me through the next, month until I get a bigger order placed.
Yeah.
So yeah, EnviroClean's killer. That's a good question, Chris.
Yeah, and then hey, real quick, just before you guys dive into questions, I thought we could share with everybody a picture of last year's McCall's team.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Very cool. Yeah. Do we want to, I have a list of the names. Should we read off the names?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give all the team members a little credit.
Let me pull this up here.
So we have
all right. So of course we have Team PNS. So we have Bob and Dave Phillips, Rennie Doyle, Chris Woolman, Keith Duplessis, Kyle, myself, and then we've got the Rag Company. We have some guys coming from the Rag Company. So we have Levi Gates, Anthony Fisher, Dane Hennon.
Is it they call him Next Day Nate?
Yeah, Next Day Nate. Josh Petro, Gabe Garcia, And then for the Mafia guys that are coming, we have, let's see, Kelly Mencken from Hawaii. And I don't know where everybody's from, so I'll say if I know where they're from. Nick Vecchio from Colorado.
Yep.
Prentice St. Clair, which he's part of Team Pianist
San Diego,
too.
California.
So he's from San Diego, California. Oscar Hernandez from Ventura, California. Doug Cunningham, he's from New York.
I think some of the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Smith from Texas. What part of Texas is
San Antonio.
San Antonio. And then we've got Glenn McMillan. I am not sure.
I'm not sure where Glenn's from.
Sure. Ron Masters.
You can jump in, Chris, if you know.
I don't remember, but they're somewhere in the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them are.
Ron Masters. And then we've got Ricardo Lopez.
Utah.
Yep. And then we've got Jimmy Sadowski.
He's up here in Northern California.
Yep. And did I get everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. That's everybody. So we have about 24 team members this year. So it's going to be awesome.
So our job is basically to make the cars that come into that show, Gordon show, look better than when they showed up. And some of them are already detailed and they just need a touch up.
Yep.
Some of them actually need some major love. There's been some times where we just did some wipe downs, and sometimes we've actually had to break out a polisher. And one year, I think one of my first years, I pulled out sandpaper out on the Quail concourse on the lawn, and there was a guy with a super rare Ferrari, and the transporter scratched it.
Oh.
So Rennie and I were out there sanding on spots all over the roof, and got the generator going and the flex polishing. And that was like one of the coolest things, and it's kind of this, a little bit unnerving. Like, I am sanding in the sun on a dark blue Ferrari, on the concourse lawn where it is going to be sitting.
Yeah.
We got to pull it out.
Yeah.
And
in 2019, we coated a couple cars, but you know what I'm so excited about this year is Soul.
Yeah, that's going to make that way
We didn't have
easier.
Soul in 2019, and so that's going to be so fun to throw some Soul.
Maybe I
on
can
a couple
get
cars.
I can throw you in on a Bugatti again like last time.
I don't know about that.
First minute, hey Sydney, there's a scratch on this clear brow. Want to polish a Bugatti Chiron with me? Yeah, sure. She had no idea it was worth $4.3 million.
I thought it was like a $300,000 car, but apparently the wrap on it was $300,000.
It was the blue carbon fiber. You could actually see the carbon fiber, and they wrapped clear broad the entire thing. That was a fun story. I'll always remember that.
Yeah, that was great.
All right. So we'll get more into Monterey all week.
Here comes some questions. I'll read this one to you. Actually, I can't read it here. Before I pull it up, I got to read it because long story.
It's a little bit long.
So Joseph Mitchell, good morning, guys. I installed Legend on a customer's car about 10 days ago. Wiped it off with multiple dry towels within less than a minute of the flash time. And I left a few high spots. And it says, I thought I could get away with it like I did with Inspiration, which came off easy later, but with no luck. How do I take care of these high spots with compound polish, whatever? So
what I would do first, if you have a high spot, is always start with the minimal approach. I mean, it's 10 days out. It's pretty hard. So I would go with a polish first, and maybe like a pretty dense pad, like a blueberry pad, or maybe even like the maroon pad. Do a test spot and see if that does the job. If it doesn't, then I would go ahead and proceed with a compound and keep going up until you accomplish removing that high spot. You may have to go to a lamb's wool. I've even done like a lamb's wool and a polish before because it needed the bite of the wool, but it didn't necessarily need like the cut of a compound. And hopefully that takes care of it and you can polish that out and you don't have to go to sanding. If you do have to proceed to sanding, you can start with like a 5,000 Trizac or a 3,000 and try that. But start minimal and work your way up. Then you need to finish that area out, and then you're going to have to reapply in that area. And this has happened. I mean, and this is a learning experience. I've done this myself, doing coatings for the last almost 10 years now. And some coatings have a lot of solids, and this happens. So waiting less than a minute for your situation, you may have only needed to wait 10 seconds. If you're in a humid area or dry area, Like Sydney
Or
and
if
I,
the paint is old.
or the paint's old
If the
too.
paint's
Yeah.
old, it flashes
It's
really
flashing fast. So always when you do go to fix this issue after you've repaired, done the high spot removal, do a small area first. And give it 10 seconds, give it a wipe. If it wipes off easy, you should be fine. Try 20 seconds. If it's, a little bit too hard, then, but if you're doing this and you figure out, oh crap, this is a problem, take a soft finishing pad. If you're in the process, take some NV and use NV to remove the coating while it's still curing and redo it, so don't just go and jump into the coating. You really got to do it. And the reason why is Legend is not inspiration. That's why it's, Legend. It's a tougher coating. It's going to be tougher and for you to install as well, not only tougher for the elements to hurt it.
Yep. Yeah, the NV works great if you can catch them in time. I usually really try to watch for high spots before I release the car because I know that I can quickly remove them with NV right at that moment. The other thing that this just sparked this question that I got yesterday through Instagram was somebody asked, how do I know when it's time to wipe off Legend? It was the first time that they were using it and they said, it wipes off really easy. And I said, if it wipes off easy, it's ready. That is literally like, if it's easy, that's the time. Because if you wipe it off too soon, it's going to be really sticky. And if you wipe it off too late, it's going to be really hard to wipe off and you're going to see those high spots. So, so that's kind of just, and always make sure you do your test spots and make sure that you hit that point where it's really easy to remove.
And sometimes the reason you're having high spots is you're not putting enough product on the applicator.
Yeah.
And so when you're wiping it, it's already drying versus if you have it more wet.
Yep.
And I learned this the hard way myself. I had to fix a couple spots and luckily I found it within an hour. So NV did the job just fine, but I didn't saturate the pad enough. Actually, I did for one section, but by the time I got to like the, later on, I kind of had the thought, oh, I'll use less product. And it was a kick in the butt and a little bit of a reminder to me that I need to put more on.
Yeah. And then Chris, he had a follow-up comment that I just want to make sure we address. It says in the future, I'll go dry, wet, dry. Joseph, feel free to try that. We have not had a ton of success personally in elements with that. So just make sure you check that. Operation, that process works great. For Legend, I haven't liked it because Legend is so wet. You have a hard time differentiating between the Legend sweating and the water sweating from that wet towel. So for me, just double check that. Feel free to try it and find what works for you. I just want to give you a heads up that for the most part in our testing, that hasn't been the way to do it. Generally just the dry and really the towels are going to matter too. So you want a short pile for your leveling and then kind of a longer pile for your final buff off. And so maybe try adjusting your towels too. Because I know what mine is I use a 365 or 300 for my first wipe off. Then I'm using a Creature, or you could use a Drago or something like that from the rag company as your second wipe. And I'm not leaving a ton of high spots using those two towels. So maybe check your towels before switching to the dry, wet, dry.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we didn't overlook that.
And if you have more questions on that, or
feel free to reach out
hit us up on Instagram on PNS's Instagram.
I think we have some guys coming in.
So Thomas wants to know how long should he let Legend cure before applying Bead Maker?
Yeah, so always at least 2 hours. And that's all the coating. So all three, Soul, Inspiration, and Legend. You never want to try to do Bead Maker in under 2 hours. You can do it, past that point as well. But if we have found that if you try to apply Bead Maker in less than 2 hours, it will tend to streak or haze. And so always wait at least 2 hours. And so when I'm going to be using Bead Maker, I always try to time it where when I know the car's being picked up, I try to apply the Bead Maker. I, kind of look at my schedule and go, okay, I'm going to back up at least 3 hours from when they plan to pick it up, but I want to give the coating as long as I can. So if it's staying overnight or something like that, I put the Bead Maker on at the last second I can, but that where I make sure that I still have that 3 hour 2 to 3 hour bead maker cure time before the customer picks the car up.
And you don't have
Yeah,
to
you
put
don't have
bead
to
maker
with
on it
Legend.
either. That's the beautiful thing about Legend. You don't have to. Inspiration, we've always found that it worked great.
Yeah.
But Legend, it's super hydrophobic as it is. Unless you have promised an extra layer, I'd say just let it go. And maybe on its first wash, you do kind of a bead maker, a drying aid to give it a little bit of more boost. But you don't necessarily have to put bead maker on Legend. It's better just to let Legend cure and maybe give it a day.
Yeah, the only reason that I would ever choose to put bead maker on would be if it was during a rainy season, or if somebody was taking a trip, where I felt like the elements needed or the coating needed some extra protection from the elements while the coating cured. That would be the only reason that I would put bead maker on. So if somebody was maybe from out of town and they had to drive back through and there was going to be bugs or rain or something like that, I would throw on some bead maker. But otherwise, Legend on its own is fine. So unless the car is going to be potentially coming into contact with some crazy elements, you can always skip the bead maker. Or like me, I just top everything with Sol.
Just put Sol on it.
I just put Sol on everything, and then that cuts out that whole timing issue.
So questions are a little slow this morning.
Okay, everybody's
we have a lot to talk about too. So I mean, if it always starts to roll in towards the end of it.
Yeah.
But being here and seeing all this stuff makes me think, oh man, we have so much more we can do, all these cool products. And behind me in these cabinets, that's what Prentice uses for training. And Prentice, we kind of use some of your stuff. We kind of disorganized it a little bit. We had to get the vans cleaned up. And so we were using yesterday between ultra coat polish on the vans, a little paint gloss, a little bit of some new sauce we've been playing with. Dynamic. I sprayed Dynamic all over these vans, all over the trim. I love Dynamic. It works great on the rims, the tires, the plastics. I even got it on the paint. I didn't care. It wiped off so nice on black vans. But so we talked about McCall's a little bit. And what we're doing at the Jet Center, preparing the cars. But then there's Wednesday night. And Wednesday night is like the party. It's the show. This is unlike any other car show I've ever been to. When you have not only super rare cars, but you have Learjets, Honda, Pilota. I mean, all these huge companies, Shelby, McLaren, beautiful, beautiful cars. And it's like, holy cow, this is a party I never thought I would, go to. And we get to help stage the cars and be a part of that. Bob and Rennie get to go around and they have a great eye, and they kind of just took over this years ago, helped Gordon. And with their trained eye, they've been able to say, hey, let's put this car here. Let's put that car there. Or, these cars have a history together, or these motorcycles, and they group them into like these kind of like these stories. And then they have these rare airplanes, there's like a P-51 and there's old bomber, like a B-17, just super cool stuff.
It's so neat. And it's such an eclectic grouping.
Exactly. Perfect.
And the craziest thing for me is, I went 2 years ago for the first time, and I remember thinking at like 1 p.m. on Wednesday, I was like, there is no way this is coming together. I just remember that was my biggest memory. I was like, there is no, because I think the party is supposed to start around 5 or something. And I mean, everything was everywhere. And it was there was no tables. I mean, it was crazy. And I just thought to myself, there's no way this is coming together. And then it was like 3:30. And I was like, there's zero chance this is coming together. And all of a sudden, like in a half an hour, it just goes. And it's
impressive what Gordon's done.
It's crazy. It's so awesome. It's like a theater that you can't even imagine, like how it all comes together, and then it's just amazing.
And we get to hang out in like this gorgeous white hangar, white walls, white floors, owned by I think a guy owns a basketball team. And we get to hang out in there. That's where we use
Yep.
the facilities. We change for the party. It's where we park the vans.
Yep.
But man, the cars that Gordon has set up in there, I'm super excited to get down there tomorrow because I'm sure there's some cars that are just we've never seen before.
Yep.
And probably never will ever see again.
Right.
I've been able to work on some really cool stuff and some celebrities' cars as well. And then Thursday and Friday, we prepare for the Quail Concourse at the Quail Lodge.
Yep.
I think the official name is like the Quail Gathering.
Oh yeah.
And that's it's like kind of the pre-Pebble Beach, in Carmel.
Yep.
And some of the cars from McCall's go, because Gordon's involved with that. And then there's all these other cars too. I mean, there's BMW, Koenigsegg, Bugatti, and some detailers from all over. They're there working on them. It's really nice to meet other detailers that have these contracts with these companies. And some cars, I mean, let me say, the reason we brought the Rag Company is not because they just have great towels. They got great drying towels, and we need them.
Yep. We need all the towels.
All the drying towels in the world.
And I think it was funny yesterday, like we mentioned, we packed the vans, and I think we were probably taking 5 times the amount of towels that we did last time.
The bed of my truck, I have an 8-foot long bed. It's full of towels.
A lot of towels.
Because when the morning, there you go. There's the hanger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob just sent this over. It's a little sneak peek.
I think that's.
I was like, is that just because I saw one car in there the other day?
That's cool.
Yeah, so the cars are soaking wet on Friday morning, and between some leaf blowers and a ton of towels, and we got smart this year. Keith brought a secret weapon for us to get the towels dry. We'll see how that works.
Yep.
We're excited to go there and get these cars prepped, and then all of a sudden we walk away, we go and change, we walk around, and we get to see all these. Well, we've already saw it inside now. You're the one who gets inside to clean the windows.
Yeah, last time it was only me that gets inside. So
I don't know why. I mean, I don't exactly fit.
Yeah, I just walked around last time and climbed inside of everything. Look how cool that is. Wow.
And this is Gordon's 30th
year
doing this.
Year. Yep. So we're celebrating 30 years for Gordon, 60 years for PNS. So our vans are all 60s and 30s everywhere. So it's pretty fun.
And that's way cool.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing about Gordon. And if you're a detailer, you really need to listen. Gordon is a detailer. This man not only is certified Ferrari technician, but he's a detailer. This whole show started because he would prep cars for Monterey Car Week, and he would have a party and kind of have a barbecue at his shop.
Yeah.
And it grew and grew, and now he's an event coordinator. And what would you even call what he does? I mean, it's like he curates these cars and finds them and has their stories.
Yep.
And he selects them, and people probably offer to come.
Yeah.
And some of them probably don't fit that, that year's theme. And sometimes he calls people and is like, I want your car. But some of the most unique vehicles I've ever seen show up here.
Yeah.
And some of the most unique builders I've ever seen have shown up here as well.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool to be a part of this. And we're grateful to Gordon and Bob Phillips and Rennie for making this happen, because it really has changed, I think, the industry and helping us become more legitimate and building up the industry and getting those people who like their cars clean to recognize us as not just the help. Which is really cool.
Yeah, and we're really excited this year. Kyle and I will have the opportunity, obviously, for PNS to come live so that you guys can kind of be there with us. So make sure you pay attention to our social media. We'll be posting a lot, so we'll probably be over posting this week. So bear with us on that. But then also we'll go live. We'll give you guys, sneak peeks in and things like that. So we'll try to take you along for the ride. So we're excited about that, to be able to bring more content and bring you live with us this time. And just as obviously things evolved and we're more comfortable going live, it's going to be easier this year. So we're super excited about
not
that.
only Wednesdays at the party, but there's something really big for PNS happening Wednesday as well. So make sure you stay tuned for PNS, the Rad Company, and Gordon. We have something really special coming out. And we're excited. There's a reason why Sydney's nails are all dialed in a special color.
I thought they were to match my shirt.
Oh, dang. They do match your shirt really
they
good,
do match
though.
my shirt today.
That's cute. Honestly, Anthony, I may want the pink shirt.
Sydney's nails are always dialed in.
But there's a specific
they're off
theme.
color, so I'm not sure why they're not color.
But we'll use this opportunity so Sydney and I will be able to use this to get future content for us to share at PNS. We're bringing a ton of products with us, and we're going to go around like, goofy kids as we are, and go and take lots of pictures, lots of video clips, and build up a bank of content. And that's partly why we're here. We're team members, but this year we have a kind of a different focus.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. We get to help lead, but also have a little bit of fun. So, do we have any other questions that have come in yet, Chris?
I do see.
Yeah,
one
we've
that
been
I
getting a
can't
few.
wait- Yep, I see one that I can't wait to talk about. Let's do the Undressed one, because that is one that we.
Oh, I was coming to the Legend one just to follow up on the Legend discussion.
Do that one first, because what we want to do is, like, after we get through the questions, before we're done at 7:30, I kind of want to go and walk around a little bit.
Okay, so Legend. What is your preferred temperature and humidity inside for applying Legend? So obviously I only know what I have, which is supposedly supposed to be the desert, but again, it's been very humid. So I think that for me, Legend is actually very adaptable to your environment. It's all about the timing though. So I wouldn't say there's necessarily a preferred, it's more figure out the timing for that temperature and humidity. I think that you can make it work in any temperature or humidity. Even, if you're mobile, you can still use it mobile a lot easier than you can inspiration.
Yeah.
But it's all about that, doing the test spot, figuring out when it's time to wipe it off, and then just go with that. So, some cars I've had where it's like a 10-second wipe off up to like a minute and a half. So you just have to figure out that sweet spot of when it's easy to wipe off, and that's your time. So, obviously really humid could be a little bit difficult.
And it depends on the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, brand new paint on a Dodge, man, it's going to be, in my environment in Southern California, 20, 30 seconds, and I'm wiping, it's good.
So easy.
Good paint. Some softer paint, maybe on some GM, I'm putting it on and I'm literally waiting 5 seconds or so and I'm wiping it off. It just depends. I think the air compressor kicked on. So
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. We just started hearing a air flow to the tools kicking on. So everything's going to be, I don't really go and like count seconds. I don't look at my watch or my phone and do that. I do it all by feel and all by experience. So just like anything, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. And this is one of those things with ceramic coatings. I could do inspiration, I could do Legend, I can do another brand of coatings and figure it out within a few minutes of what I need to do. But that comes with time. And so just keep practicing on your cars and your customers' cars and get proficient at it.
Yep. All right. So next we have Nick Vecchio joining us. Thank you, Nick, for
one of our team members.
He is up here in the Bay Area, and I believe Keith's going to be picking him up here shortly. So awesome. So Keith says, are there different ways you are using Undressed? Yeah. So, I mean, mainly I'm using it to strip the old tire dressings off the tires, but I have found that it also works great. I will spray it on the wheel wells as well, or fender wells inside.
Exactly what I was gonna
say. Then also running boards, works great on running boards. It's also great on, which, I mean, for me, a lot of different things work on WeatherTech mats. I mean, I use Tempest the most, but EnviroClean works, Brake Buster works great, but Undressed works great too, because it's a rubber cleaner, right? So, that's kind of one of those things, whatever you have, you can use it on, but I'm going through a ton of it. I'm so excited about this product. It's just made such a difference in, the first time a car comes in and you need to just start over start over.
Reset the tires.
Reset the tires so that
Exactly.
it's, because I find that I can switch between, dressings fine, but if something comes in and it's had, even just like cheap tire shine or car wash tire shine or something like that, that's what causes all the sling, and they don't get the tires clean, and then they put tire dressing on, and then it goes all down the side of the car. So we just need a reset, and so I love Undressed for that. So I don't use it I don't use it on my maintenance vehicles, but definitely the first time a car comes in, or when I'm doing a coating, I always use Undressed, because with doing a coating, I want the whole car reset. So anything I can do.
It's like prepping. That's why it's called tire prep.
Yeah.
When we decided to go with that name, we were thinking, look, if you don't have the tire clean before you apply the tire dressing, you get sling. If it's prepped properly, then it won't. I'm using it on like mud flaps on RVs.
Yeah.
I don't put it on paint.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it on rubber. I'm keeping it on plastic.
And it's not a wheel cleaner. We get that question a lot too, is people say, is it like Brake Buster? How does it compare to Brake Buster?
It's more aggressive. I keep it off wheels. It's meant for tires.
It doesn't go on wheels. It's just for tires.
I have a lot of people with RVs, and they let them sit outside, and the tires turn orange. And so what I'll do is I'll spray Undressed on. I'll hit it with a brush, scrub the snot out of it. I'll hit Undressed again, let it kind of start running. And then I'll scrub it, and then I'll power wash the heck out of it. And those tires look great for the tire dressing that I'm going to reapply, because they're used to putting on whatever they've got on at AutoZone or whatever tire dressing they're using. And then going down the road, a lot of buildup happens, and then they put tire dressing on, and then it builds up. So there's like,
I'm just thinking the Vans.
It's layers.
Right?
Oh yeah, the Vans.
The Vans up and down the whole side. It's just covered in tire dressing.
Good morning. How you doing? So one of the guys just showed up. I'm just saying hello. So yeah, that's what it's for. It's for deeper cleaning. Yeah. And then after that, maintain it using Brake Buster.
Yep. Yep. And so there's going to be a lot of times where you can do, Undressed on the tire, Brake Buster on the wheel, or you can use Iron Buster. So again, where I'm doing like a total reset, I'm Iron Buster and Undressed. Yeah. And then from that point forward, it's going to be. It's like
a total trio of wheel options. Yeah. You have your mild option in Brake Buster. You have your Iron Buster for the heavier wheel iron buildup or fallout on paint, and then you got your tire like total degrease reset. So, and it's not just for that. It works great on classic white walls. Like I've said in the past,
letters,
if you're a guy who has a truck with white letters and you want to be like Walker Texas Ranger, I always think his Dodge Ram and the white tires on it, the BF Goodwrench tires. Yeah. You want to make those lettering look good. That's what Undressed is for. Yeah. So get them clean.
Yes, and the good news about Undressed is it is ready to go. I know we did a couple videos, TikToks about it last week. So it is labeled, and it is. I think it's probably already been shipped out.
The spray bottles are labeled. They should be already shipping. If you're a distributor, request Undressed. Make sure you request it as the Undressed. Yes. And then if you're a detailer and you want it, call your distributor and say, hey, I want to get Undressed.
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to have lots of fun with this.
Yes, but it is ready and it's going out. So we're so excited about that. So try to get your hands on some. If your distributor doesn't have it, like Kyle said, just ask them to order it.
Yep.
The more our distributors get the demand for stuff, they're gonna order it. So, and I will be working with Ian later this afternoon to try to get it on the PNS website. And
I'll let you know when any other online distributors pick it up.
Yeah.
Then we'll, if they share that they have it, then we'll reshare it on our social media.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So, I think
maybe you guys know a little bit about this one.
Yeah, but so his comment right before.
I know. I was gonna get to that one right next.
Okay, so this is the guy that was from Indiana that asked about the white or the water spots on his wife's black car a couple weeks ago. And so he said, I got the spots out. Paul said to use paint sealant after I compounded and polished. He also said to use a lot of Bead Maker. Let it dwell. What do you think about a paint sealer? So Bead Maker is the paint sealant.
Mhm.
And I don't remember if he had a coating on before. I don't remember that. I do remember this water spot one, but I don't remember if he had a coating before. But if you got the water spots out and compounded and polished, you're with Bead Maker. So that would be your last step product. So Bead Maker is a great paint sealant. You're going anywhere from
Maybe
3 to
he's
6
talking
months.
about like Ultra Coat
Think about
paint sealant,
sealer.
because he's
No
talking
coating,
about a
he said, so he
distributor,
just said no coating.
right?
Yeah, so he put a ton of Bead Maker on it.
Okay.
So does he need to do anything else?
When water hits it, dry it off.
Yeah.
Don't get water spots again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so just make sure you keep the Bead Maker on there. Ultra Coat paint sealant is going to be probably maybe not as long lasting as Bead Maker.
I actually
Or would
think
it be
I think it's
longer?
a 6 to 9 months.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe a
it
little
would
bit
be a
longer.
good base, a great base. I mean, and then you can maintain with Bead Maker, especially like on as a drying aid. But if you want to actually like touch a polisher and apply something, that's the product I would go to for protection.
Yeah, but you already put on a heavy coat of Bead Maker.
To give it some time, let the Bead Maker wear out.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, and then when you feel like it's time to do a light polish and put some protection on.
That's what I would do. I would let the Bead Maker be there for a little bit, because you said you put a heavy coat on, and so if you were to use the Ultra Coat now, you would almost need to remove the Bead Maker.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
you will be removing the Bead Maker as you apply it. So
just give it a couple months. So then you said the car sits in a rail yard and it gets spots every 3 months. I have to compound and polish. That's not ideal. Because the main concern there is that depending on how new the vehicle is, you only have so many times to use compound and polish on the paint. The paint nowadays is so thin that the more you use compound, you're eventually going to break through that clear coat. So
you're going to diminish the clear coat, which also diminishes the UV inhibitors that are within it, and it's going to thin out. You're going to have peeling. So I have a customer as well that works at a rail yard. He's always gone. It sits there. I have to do a lot of iron removal to it annually, but what I suggested to him was to get a car cover to help keep some of the elements off and keep the water spots off. It's not a good idea to have to polish. So what I would do is this: now that you've got it dialed in, you may want to sell them on a coating, then get this coated. You may have to strip off all the Bead Maker. And then when he does get spots, whenever that is, hopefully it's just on the side, not on the whole hood and roof. You may want to go in, this is weird to say, but using a chemical will actually be more gentle than using abrasion from a tool. So polishing and buffing may actually remove more clear coat than actually using like our water spot remover, which is an acid. You can safely do that. You just got to do it out of the sun. Paint needs to be cool. And if you're IDA certified, you would know that anytime you use an acid, you have to deactivate it with a base. Please don't use an acid if you don't deactivate it, because the acid will continue to work. But that may be a more gentle approach chemically, instead of using abrasion, which will actually remove clear coat, if that makes sense. So may want to consider that, but I don't suggest compounding and polishing for years, because there will be no clear coat left over time. You may want to invest in a paint gauge. I know Keith has those through Detail Plus. Really cool paint gauges at Detail Plus.
And you'll see those in action this week.
We'll have those this week with us. The reason why is you kind of want to have an idea of how much your clear coat you're removing over time.
So hopefully that helps. So then he says, thank you, I need to attend one of your classes. Yes. And we have lots of different options. So across the country, we do 1 day extremes. We've got the class here at PNS. We're in the training center. So you can come for a 1 day training here. And then there's obviously the 5 day with Rennie up in Big Bear.
And did he say he's from Indiana?
Yes.
So we have a training center in Auburn. Is it Praxis? Is that right, Chris? Mike Liebing is Praxis.
Praxis Detailing. Anyway, Jared, if it is something you're interested in, we have a class coming up on August 21st and another one on October 23rd. And you could actually reach out to me about that if we haven't already spoke. To be honest, I talked to a lot of guys, so I don't remember. But
and the sign up is on our link tree, right? Which is on our
You could find. I don't think it's on the PNS one, but I think you could find it.
Okay.
Extreme, yeah.
You could find it on Detailing Success. There's a link in the bio of our Instagram page. There's also Facebook events set up on our Facebook page and stuff like that. So just go find Detailing Success, and you'll find the ones for August 21st.
And great question. I'm glad you reached out to us about it, because we're happy to help. Not further any damage. Because the customer is damaging it. You're not. I mean, you're doing the work you need to.
Yeah.
So great question for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And then there's a follow-up question.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. So this is from Edward. So from somebody different, but he wants to know, Kyle, what do you use to deactivate your water stop emitter?
So you got to use a base, which I mean, I've used anything from EnviroClean and Brake Buster, something mild. You can also, soap will, but it's not enough of a base. If you're using a pH neutral soap, it's not going to deactivate it fully. Yeah. And so I would go more to the EnviroClean side, which is a citrus degreaser. I would mist it on the surface, a nice layer, not from the top down, from the bottom up. Say if we're doing a door panel, give it a fine mist. You can move it around if you'd like to agitate it. Let it dwell for 10, 15 seconds and rinse it off. And that way you're you're deactivating it. If you've ever noticed on someone's wheels that they look super dried out, or their brake calipers are rusting or milky white, it's because they probably went to a car wash that was using an acid that was too aggressive. I believe that acid is like a hydrofluoric. I mean, there's lots of acids out there. And it did damage. And so that's what I use. I have it readily available. It's always with me. I've used Express Interior.
Yeah.
I mean, I just let it sit a little longer because, maybe 20, 30 seconds, but EnviroClean for me works great.
Yeah. So great question, because that is important to make sure we deactivate it.
It's kind of like one of my pet peeves of like, I make sure people deactivate their acids.
Yeah. All right. You might have to read this one too.
So Angelo is asking, speaking about Beadmaker here. I've experienced streaking in this area in North Carolina. What I have discovered is it depends on the paint. Newer cars are water-based paint. Clear tend to streak. However, older automobiles, none. Says I discovered solvent-based paint is less likely to streak. So I guess it's more of a comment than a question.
So I think that for me, I've not ever had an issue. I shouldn't say I've never, but I can isolate my issue. So I think one, you have to figure out what's causing the streaking. So for me, the only time I've ever had Beadmaker streak is if I use it on a hood that hasn't cooled enough. So if I wash a car, the engine's still hot from running, and if I use Beadmaker, it will streak on the hood only. So I think the main thing is you just want to make sure that the panel's cool. Beadmaker and a hot panel it never works out, never. And so what I suggest in those situations is to only use it in wet application. So if the panels are still hot, maybe use it as a drying aid versus a finishing spray. You're still going to get the same bond and protection from there. And then humidity is a huge factor in that, because it's adding moisture to the paint. And so you just want to make sure you really figure out your toweling, use a 2 or a 3 towel method with it. So I would just figure out what's causing the streaking, if it's humidity, if it's the panel's too hot, if, also I think too, is there something already on the paint? So
that happens
there's
too.
a lot of cars that if they come in, I know I have one car that comes in that they go through like a cheap car wash and they get the spray wax.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you try to put Beadmaker on top of that and it's still on the car's paint, if I haven't clayed or polished and I'm just doing like a maintenance wash or something like that. So it also depends on what's on the paint already. And is that causing the Beadmaker to streak? But so, I don't really have much of an issue. Mine's
funny
only
story.
Just hot.
We always hear people streaking products, Beadmaker, on black cars.
Yeah.
And I figured out, that it depends on the towel. I've loved using the FTW. It helps.
Yeah.
So I had my guys wash my truck one day. I got 2 new employees. They're 18. It's a summer job. I showed them how to do it for you know, we've done 50 cars together so far. They streaked the heck out of my truck.
Oh my gosh, and it's white.
And it's white and it's coated. I'm like, what are you guys doing? So they sprayed Bead Maker on the hood and just wiped it around, and that was it. They let it sit.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the second towel? Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
And so my guy's
Oh.
problem was they were putting it on with one towel and not taking a second towel and buffing it down after it. And I've taught them this, but you know, 18-year-olds know everything.
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, go rewash it and redo the Bead Maker the right way. They're like, we don't want to rewash it. We'll just fix it. I said, no, you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewash the truck.
Oh gosh.
The hood looked horrible.
Oh man.
So what I learned from that was they obviously I haven't taught them enough, but the other thing was a second towel. Always use a second towel. You may want to apply to one towel and use it. And you're basically looking for just a wet line as you're wiping, and then take your second towel and just buff it down.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's helped too. But if it's hot, that's a problem.
Yeah. And so I always encourage everybody, we obviously get a lot of Bead Maker questions. And last November, we made, I think it's like a 45-minute video.
Yeah.
Bob,
on our
Rennie,
YouTube.
and Kyle and I made a video about all the different application challenges in Bead Maker. And it's an awesome video. So if you have not seen that, I highly encourage you going to the PNS official YouTube channel and taking the time to watch that video, because we give a ton of really helpful tips. And, we kind of talk about all different weather challenges and towel challenges and all of that. So if you haven't watched that, I highly encourage that, just because we do answer so many of the challenges with Bead Maker. So, all right. So Bead Maker was used on vinyl stripes on a Viper, and it dried too quickly and left spotting and running marks. Is there any easy cure? So vinyl stripes, I'm guessing they were probably old
and white, on something like that, I literally would be spraying as I'm wiping away.
But I think he's asking, how can he get it off? An easy cure.
Actually, it's she.
Oh,
That's
she.
that's-
Oh, sorry.
that's
Oh,
Robin.
it's Robin. I'm sorry, Robin. So the screen is really far away from us, and we can't read the
That's
name.
all right.
So
Plus,
sorry,
we got
Robin.
the light in our face too.
Yeah, we have a light.
I'm blind as it is.
Hi, Robin. So in that case, I've had that happen before, where the vinyl was too old and it sucked up the Bead Maker right when it hit it. And I've always just taken like an all-in-one polish, like Ultra Coat polish, right?
I was just about to say, this is a job for either Kyle's Boat and RV store or Ultra Coat polish. Very low speed.
Yep, super hydrating polish and
a finishing pad.
Yep.
I mean, you can try it by hand.
Yeah.
I always usually on vinyl stripes. I always usually kind of go to my Flex Pixie, the PXE80, with like a yellow or a white pad, and I just do a ton of zero pressure passes, and then wipe it.
Yep.
And see what that does. It's the only thing you really can do on vinyl.
And it's just rehydrating that paper. Yeah.
Exactly.
That should take care of it. So let us know. But I think that's what I've done before. It's been great. Cool.
Let's see. Hey guys, I'm in hot and humid Florida. What would be an ideal cure time for Bead Maker, and is it okay to drive it before that time is reached?
Oh yeah. I mean, if your cure time, like we said about this, the streaking is more the thing.
Yeah.
Do it, get an easy up or do it in the shade, but you can drive it right away. I mean, cure time for Bead Maker, it cures over an hour at least. But I drive Bead Maker cars right away.
Yeah. And especially being in a humid area, I think you kind of can use that to your advantage, right? Because it's more the dry areas that if you drive the car before the Bead Maker's cured, that's when we have some of that dusting issue. But in a you probably don't have the dusting issue. So, I mean, really, you can drive it right away. So I think, use that humidity.
As long as you're not doing it during a hurricane, I think you should be all right there. Yep. But yeah, always make sure the paint is cool no matter what you're doing. It just tends that people do it a lot. I use water to cool down paint. But in our video that we have on YouTube that Sydney was talking about, we've also talked about how paint gloss can cool down paint.
Yeah.
So if you Bead Maker and then you're concerned about, and you need to cool the paint down before, or if you're going to get smudges off, try paint gloss. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder what they're bringing over here. It looks like Express Interior Cleaner. It's that beautiful color.
They were working on filling paint prep, but I think they're going to switch out the
So did you guys want to go? Did you want to take them on a little field trip, or what's your plan?
Do we have any more? Well, what time is it?
I don't know if we can get in the main building.
Yeah, I don't know if we. Yeah, they're there now. I don't know how good a service we'll have, but any other last questions before we do that? Because we need to wrap it up soon.
There's nothing there right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, cool. Let's do this. I'll grab the iPad.
Okay.
And you be our tour guide.
Okay.
And let's just show them around here briefly. There's some things we can't show over here.
Yeah.
A couple the
There's
labels.
Just a couple labels. We can't flash.
If we did, then people would be freaking out.
And
like,
you know what's funny is they're labels we didn't even know were here.
They're just going into update. Their updates going into the rotation.
Yeah, they tried to hide from us.
But we'll go over here. We show that briefly, and then go over here, and then
we can get into. So,
maybe we'll show the van a little bit too.
Yep. We'll show you the van, and we'll get into what we can. So we'll head out here. And Chris, you'll have to tell us if our audio is okay.
Well, so far the audio is good. The picture's all over the place.
Can you flip the picture?
I don't think I can.
You're good. Just keep it like that.
Okay.
So here's the training center. You can see the lights up here. And, yeah.
So here's the lovely wall of all the banners and things that we have here. And so these are all available to purchase, but they're very cool. New Legend one. And then over here is just all of the apprentices towel system, which I thought this was great. We got to show this. This was really cool. So they have these towel bins for the laundry, and they taped each towel to each bin to show you what goes in that bin. I thought that was so cool.
It's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
I have to do that on my own trash cans where I keep mine.
Super awesome. So here's our big van. So this is the one that carries all of our gear.
Try and stay close to Kyle, Sydney, if you can.
12 people, and the whole. Okay, so the whole back of this one.
That's better.
Go on. So we spent all day in the back here.
Oh, I think we're losing you guys.
Not sure if we can.
Careful, nothing falls on.
Can you hear us? No.
There you go. You're back.
You hear me, Chris?
Go do. Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Here's the fun 60-year for
There it
PNS,
is.
30 for McCall. That's cool. So that edition this year is the 30-year sticker. So I'm not sure. Do you think you tell us if we're losing?
It may get better as we
go
out of the building.
Yeah.
So we'll walk over to the main building. You hear us, Chris? Okay.
Yeah, you're doing all right. It's
Cool.
Your audio is pretty good. It's the picture that gets frozen up.
Okay. Well, you just let us know if you have any questions while we're taking this little walk here. I'm not sure.
No, go ahead.
It'd be cool if we could find Bob. I'm not sure what time he gets in, but
He said he had a lot of stuff going on this morning, but. So there's one building right here, and then the other building. So this is all PNS here. This building and this building now.
Yep. They're already selling product. So we'll take you guys into the shipping center where all of the big pallets go out.
This is where our training center used to be in here.
That's all the containers in here.
I think they're having some fun.
That's really morning.
All right.
All right, so this is the shipping center, so and the customer processing center. So this is where they kind of see.
Yeah, Kyle, if you get a chance to just kind of stop and hold it still, that'll help. Oh, now I think we lost you. Yeah, there they go, guys. Oh, I can hear you
There
now.
we go. The iPad for a sec.
Are you back?
Hold on.
I see you.
Yeah, there's no video. Hold on. I have no idea the video died.
No, I can see you right now.
Okay, all right.
We can't go. We're not sure where.
So there's some 55-gallon drums. And a lot of bins. We do have lots of 5 gallons. You can see over there.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, if you get a chance, Kyle, just kind of show everybody like the vastness of the warehouse and kind of hold the iPad still so it can catch up.
Can you see all this, Chris?
Yeah.
Cool. Gallons of ballistic compound. There's all the costs you could ever need.
So Dave's light, but I can't see if he's in his office. That would be fun if we
Go find Dave. So, yep, it's all full of products.
could go to the window and show him through the window.
Yeah.
Where the mat, right?
This is pretty. Platinum polish.
Very blue.
Yeah. Ultra coat paint sealant.
Huh.
Let me see if we can make it up to the offices real quick. We still got people on here, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, things are a little, it's a little fuzzy and jittery.
Is Dave in there? I don't think Dave's in there. Here, let's show you the mad scientist lab. Careful, it's slippery right there. So this is where Dave works.
Yeah, that's his lab.
And his ring light. Cute little ring. So let's go to the offices where the PNS logo and stuff is.
Well, keep describing what you're passing by and seeing on the way there.
So that is a massive tote of pearl. That's a lot of pearl. And Shape Up and Brake Buster.
So they take these and they hook them up at the filling station.
And they
then
fill
there's a
the-
hose that comes out and
Yeah. And then it fills the pints and the gallons. So we're just walking by tons of boxes of Wipe and Shine, Crystal Wash.
Back here, we've got detail factory brushes.
Yeah, there you go. So this is probably where they pull all the stuff. So I got a Boar's Hair Detail Factory brushes, crevice brush. Good morning.
So these are the main offices. We've got Bob's office here. He's not here yet.
Nope.
Ooh, is there anything we can take from Bob's office?
We're gonna steal the bug cleaner, the spray it, which has this nice new label. Oh, there you go. Here's the prototype label for Undressed.
You went dark.
I went dark again. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good radio, but not good audio or video. There we go. Oh, now you're back.
You see me now?
Yeah.
You can't see what we're showing you.
Yeah, I can't even see what we're showing. We got Undressed here. There's the bottle label, as you probably saw in our video that we posted recently.
Yeah, those are nice labels.
That's cool.
What else can I show in here? Just really cool wall of pictures from McCall's in the past. Auto Geek Cars and Coffee back in 2018 with Rennie. Ultra Coat Wax. Just really cool stuff.
This is just the
I like that poster right in front of you is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, when was that? Probably in the 90s.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's how it used to be. She was. I was gonna say something, but I get in trouble if I said it. So, not that far back. Yeah. So that was totally Bob's fault. That's awesome. So we got all banners and
legends, all the fun.
Yeah, those are all the labels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually grab Kyle one while we're right here.
yeah, I'm stealing a label for my bottle. Got some old labels, some really old labels here. We got Kyle's Bone RV Restorer for the gallons knockoff.
Yeah, will you guys bring some bead maker and brake buster labels?
All right, you got it. Here's. I'll bring the whole row for you, Chris.
We need. I need some to put on my IK sprayers.
Your high tone.
Okay.
Yeah, and all these kind of labels, I mean, are available to people through their distributors. So if they need to get some labels, they just need to order them. I mean, the ones that are for bottles, at least.
Well, cool.
This is pretty cool. So,
Do you guys want to? You guys want to go over to the counter by the sign there and wrap things up?
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We can't see. Yeah, so let me set it up.
We can't see ourselves. So you're gonna have to tell us if you can see us.
A little higher than Kyle.
Hold on, I'm putting the leg back on the.
There we go.
So
That'll work in that well enough.
Okay. Yeah, we can't see
Cool.
anything on our screen, so we don't know if we're in the picture or not. But
well, thanks for your questions. This bead maker and coffee.
yeah.
We'll have a lot this week coming out. We're
Yeah.
super excited for that. Hey, there's that giant.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. Champagne bottle, is that the giant champagne bottle from previous year? I think Gordon gave that to the
in
team.
2019. Yeah.
And then Metal Bright. Look at those old bottles.
Look at the old bottles up there. I didn't notice
This
that
is cool.
yesterday.
Let's show that off.
It's cool.
Old metal tins
Oh,
and
okay.
buffing pads.
White wall cleaner right there in front. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's the original Undressed right there.
That's awesome.
Can you see it all, Chris?
Yeah, it's a little bit
Vinyl
fuzzy.
top dressing.
There it goes. That's better.
High tone glaze.
I see Dark Supreme.
Yeah. Well, then up there, those are just crazy cool. What is that? Plastic and vinyl cleaner. So there's the progression right there. That's pretty cool. So stay tuned. We have to go to the airport and pick up some team members. So thanks for joining us. We will be back in a couple weeks, same time. And we're excited for this week.
Yeah, we have another special edition in 2 weeks. Special theme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, we're gonna take a picture while you're here for that special themed
Yeah, that'll be fun.
bead maker and coffee.
So
All right.
From today, we'll see you guys back. Make sure you tune in this week. We're gonna have all kinds of fun content for you guys. And if you have any questions, always feel free to contact us on the PNS Instagram or Facebook, or you can email us. And we will see you guys later this week.
And thanks for all the great questions.
All right.
See you later, Bomb
later.
Detail.
All right. See you guys tonight.